following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of MLW Reload from January 20th, 2024. Let's start that again. Let's trip it on your fucking words. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of MLW Reload from January 20th, 2024, 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really digging MLW right now. It's something different, and I've covered the last few pay-per-views, and I think I'm gonna continue on. Yeah, I'm digging it, and so let's just get into it. Hey, we start off the show with Saint Laurent calling out Alex Kane for a conversation. He's bringing Alex out there to pitch the idea of blending the Boom Fight Club with the World Titan Federation. Alex Kane, of course, nearly threw up over the idea. And Saint Laurent, he gave him a contract to join. Big money offer. Excuse me for my smudged reading glasses. Alex Kane rips up the contract that Saint Laurent gave him, and I have to admit, right, I'm not nitpicking. Saint Laurent's acting skills sometimes can be pretty bad, but I like it. It makes it funnier that he's not perfect with his reactions. It makes it more entertaining. I like it. He's really grown on me over the last few months, because I didn't really know much about him beforehand. I just knew that he was a part of MLW radio and all that, but since getting involved with watching MLW, I have become a fan, and I love the World Titan Federation. Speaking of the World Titan Federation, the first matchup came up right after this. Zeta, my favorite at the moment in MLW. I'm going to talk a bit about her later, but she's been killing me. She takes on Notorious Mimi, who I saw perform for the first time, I think, at the Holiday Rush show. I might be mistaken, but anywho, Mimi and Zeta were in a triple threat match, yes, a few weeks ago, which Zeta won, and she's been seeking a MLW Women's Featherweight Championship match, but she has yet to receive that opportunity because Saint Laurent doesn't want her to, and I'll get into that a bit later. The match started with an aggressive Mimi going over on Zeta. Sorry, that's not worded properly, but anyway, they went back and forth as is tradition. I was just thinking Zeta's going to be the face of the women's division here. She's just too entertaining. She's solid in the ring, and I think I did some research. I don't think she's even had 60 matches in her career. She started wrestling in 2022. And she's pretty good already. So, the more reps, the quicker she will improve even tenfold. I like that Mimi and Zeta were both attempting underhanded tactics to win the match, which went to show how much both the characters were trying to sell the desperation to win the match, because they obviously want to climb the ranks, right? Zeta, though, hit the I'm prettier and got the win, and I really like the way that they went for the finish, where she kind of made Mimi lose her balance, and then she hit the move and got the win. Oh gosh, Joe Dombrowski attempts to interview Zeta, and Saint Laurent chastises Joe for not introducing her properly. So Joe then tries to introduce her properly the way that they asked, and then Zeta ended up being rude to him anyway. Grabbed the mic. Talked about wanting a title shot, to which again Saint Laurent became concerned about, as he does business with Selena De La Renta, who manages the current champion Janai Kai. Let's move forward. Singles match here. Good Brother number 3 takes on Steph DeLander with, again, Saint Laurent. I'm pretty sure he was with her at ringside here. Anyway, so apparently, I must have missed a few things in recently. Apparently, he wanted this fight with Steph because she cost his friend Mance Warner his job, which I was not privy to. Anywho, right at the beginning here, Steph tried to trick him into kissing her and then went to roll him up for a pin, but he kicked out. And I have to say, I'm finding myself being very entertained by Steph and her antics. So it was a bit of a silly match. It was a bit of a ha-ha. Good Brother attempted to give her a lap dance, even asking the music guy to play a sexy song, but Steph soon turned on him again. So that was twice now. She hit a spear through a door in the corner for a 2 count. That was pretty spot of the match. She grabbed a mic and then tried to manipulate him by saying that they shouldn't be fighting. This is where it went downhill for me. I'm sorry. I don't like to be negative, but Good Brother number 3 then said he thinks he's found the right woman, and he proposes to her. And I'm just starting to get confused because I'm like, I thought this was about your friend that got fired. And anyway, she said yes, and then I was still more confused. And then he went to get her to kiss him, and she had to close her eyes for the kiss. He put the microphone on her lips, and then told her to open her eyes, and then he poked her in the eyes and then rolled her up for the pin. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why am I so confused? You know, when it comes to wrestling, you got to make it so simple that, because look, I'm a smart wrestling fan, right? I can admit that. I'm not a bad one, but you know that there's bad ones. But if I can't get it, then something didn't go right here. But so Good Brother number 3 gets a win via pinfall. Let's move forward again. Jimmy Lloyd taking on Ichiban. So I don't think there's much of a background to this one. It's just a cold match between 2 potential contenders for the national openweight title or the middleweight title. Ichiban got off to a red-hot start with his quickness and high-flying antics, hitting a dope dive to the outside, lighting Jimmy up in the ring as Selena De La Renta and Jesus Rodriguez come out. And Selena's getting on commentary. Jimmy Lloyd started fighting back after the distraction from whatever. I can't remember. Jesus, fucking hell. Jesus then smacked Ichiban in the head as the referee was distracted, looking for just attending to Jimmy, right? And Jimmy didn't appear to realize what was going on here. It was a shame because they started to do some spot. I don't know what the fuck I'm going on about here. God, sometimes my writing is just so irritating when I reread it, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. What spot? What am I talking? Oh, right, okay. Now I'm figuring it out. Put a bit more fucking like help myself out here. There was something that happened where Ichiban was standing on Jimmy Lloyd's back, facing, towards the turnbuckles, and then he jumped and turned around or something like that, and he hit a code red. And I'm like, okay, it was spectacular, obviously, very, very interesting move, but come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on. Let's not annoy Carl all the way over in Perth, Western Australia by doing something that's incredibly unrealistic. Like, Jimmy, why don't you just shrug him off if you know he's standing on your back and you're just like bent over? Like, or walk forward and put your head underneath the second rope and trip him up. What are you doing? I know I'm nitpicking too much there. Anyway, Jimmy set up a ladder and a ladder on the outside across the apron and the barricade, and then put Ichiban on it. He climbed the ladder. Ichiban cut him off. Jesus got involved. He got knocked off the apron. He lands on the ladder on the outside. Fuck. I hate when I have to go blow by blow. It's really annoying. Then Ichiban jumped off the top rope and hit like a flatliner on Jimmy off the ladder and got the win. There. Fuck. was a bit of an intricate finish there. Anyway, then afterwards, I guess Selena's not happy with what happened. And she announces Ichiban will get a middleweight championship match at Super Fight. So there you go. Let's move forward again. We got a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling TJPW showcase match here. It's a part of the MLW open door policy. See, I'm starting to remember these things. Nao Kakuta taking on Moka Miyamoto. Never heard of either of them. I've only seen Stardom. So I was looking for something fast-paced and fun here because I know what I expect when I see two Japanese ladies wrestlers getting in the ring. Now I've kind of figured out kind of how it works, right? They got off to a bit of a slow start though. Nao, or now, I look, I'm going to say Nao, okay? I'm Australian, got a bad, reputation with the English language. I'm sorry. So she got some heat on Mocha. Mocha fought back with gusto though. And she, I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm still a tourist in different styles of wrestling. But I found the karate chop to the stomach, but going for a near fall, like a 2 count, to be a little bit much. Sorry. This match wasn't what I was expecting. I felt like Miyamoto. She was just off. She just wasn't in the zone. I don't know why. She just seemed, the timing wasn't there. I don't know. But Kakuta got the pin after like a TKO into a stunner. So she wins by pinfall. Then Love Doug came out after the match to a great version of Love Gun by Kiss, but it's Love Doug. Pretty cool. He says to Mocha that she was very brave tonight and he wants to be brave too. He asked her out to dinner. And okay, this was cool. This was cool. And I hope that maybe they filmed something with the two of them and that we can see how the date went and maybe something happens while they're on the date, which leads to his next angle. If this is just a thing for the sake of it, then I'm going to be annoyed. I'm hard to please. So look, this is the only thing I'm going to complain about. It would have been nice, wouldn't it be nice if production zoomed in on Love Doug and Mocha? Because shit, I wanted to see his face closer up a few more times as he's talking to her. I wanted to see her face and the reaction when he asked her to dinner. I wanted the close-up of her face as she said yes. And I didn't quite get that. It was too much of a wide shot for my liking. Okay, I'm gonna tighten things up like that. When there's moments in the ring where people are having a conversation together, we need to see their facial expression. We need to see their reaction. This tells the story as much as the verbiage, bro. Thank you. Sorry, we're back. I just had to pause it just then to restart my next point. So. Okay, Zeta's backstage, right? And okay, let's. Okay, I'm going to talk about it now as it pertains to Zeta, right? Because now it's getting to the point when she comes out. I'm already starting to laugh before she's even done anything. This chick is killing me right now. She doesn't even have more than 60 matches, I believe. She's killing me. Every time she's on the screen, I know she's about to make me laugh with some sort of shenanigans. The first time I saw her, I don't know if it was the show where she was backstage with Saint Laurent and she's talking about wanting Taylor Swift tickets or something like that. And he's just trying to please his client and she wants a shot at the title and he doesn't want her to have the shot at the title because of his business ties with Selena. And it's just, it's very funny. He's trying to get her to bring her hot friends along to Taylor Swift's. Fucking what a creep of a character, right? I love it. It's great. And she's just so oblivious to it, but she just gets whatever she wants because she's a spoiled little brat, right? And then there's the show. I don't know if it was Kings of Colosseum or the one before that, the one where Josh Bishop and Tom Lawler got a tag title shot. She gets involved in the match. Well, it's like, what are you doing in the ring? You're like a 21-year-old little chick, It's big men in the ring. She's on someone's back, I'm guessing. Anyway, one called Manders just tees off and just hits the sweetest fucking clothesline ever. She's out. She's been getting carried to the back by Saint Laurent. It's so funny, bro. Like, what did you think was going to happen, you stupid Anyway, it's so good. The way that they're booking her is so good. You know, she goes to Alex Kane's locker room and asks him a question, and the facial expressions from her when she's getting an answer that she didn't expect. Like, what did you expect he was going to say? Like, how delusional does the character have to be? I love it. Anyway, this show, right? This show, she killed me on this show, right? She's already had her match. She's won her match. You'd think that would be enough, right? She's backstage here. The cameraman just asks a very simple, nice question, and she just immediately tells him to shut up because she's trying to find her things because she wants to leave, right? She couldn't find her stuff. And then she ran into this guy. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm still learning about some of these people in MLW. But he was using her makeup, or he liked her products that she had in her locker room. And when she opened the door and he was standing there with her things in his hands, you know, she screams, he screams back. It's the stupidest little segment. Then they end up bonding over them liking the products that Zeta had. And then they leave because they're going to go shopping. They didn't go shopping. She came out the very next segment, because the next segment was Delmi Exo taking on Tiara James, right? This is what's funny. And I'll get to the match in a minute, right? But I'm going to talk about what happened afterward, because this is like the last thing that I want to talk about as far as Zeta's concerned, and why she's popping me right now. So she's already had a match. She's already done a thing. After the match, Delmi calls out Janai Kai. It doesn't take long for them to come out with Selena De La Renta. Janai, you know, threatens Delmi as Selena denies the title shot. And then what do you know? Here comes Zeta again with her sick theme song, by the way. And I'm already laughing because she's just such a nuisance. Like, she's already been involved in this show. And now she's coming out here to poke the hornet's nest, right? This is how delusional the character is. So she gets into the ring. I can't quite remember what she said to everyone, but I know she called Janai Kai ugly. And then she goes and finally, look at this little blue-haired bitch. And she got into Selena's face. Of all people, like the spiciest woman on the roster that you don't want to cross. And you called her a little blue-haired bitch. And the way she delivered that bitch, fucking perfect. She gets comedic timing. This is why I wanted to do a little bit here about Zeta, because she gets comedic timing. She's just very subtle with the humor. She's not going overboard. It's not cheesy. It's not hokey. She is funny. And then it gets worse. She gets worse here, right? So she's got in Selena's face. Selena goes to slap her. Zeta moves out the way. Saint Laurent, he's been hit in the head now by Selena. He goes down. Delmi takes the opportunity then to start fighting with Janai. And then that just gives Zeta the opportunity to be like, well, shit, I'm going to fucking get my hands on Selena. Selena's like within arm's reach, but she can't get to her because fucking Saint Laurent's holding on to her and won't let her get to her. Because he's worried about his business ties with Selena, even though he just got smacked in the head. She's trying to get away from Saint Laurent, trying to get to Selena. Selena finally gets up. She gets in the way. Oh, sorry, but Saint Laurent gets in the way of Selena trying to, you know, trying to fight one another. This whole segment turns into this massive drama, and it was already kind of leading to drama. But Zeta just made it so much worse. She turned this situation into an absolute drama. And, you know, everyone's getting escorted out of there. And then the next matches are going to happen, right? And I'll get to the match just before in a second. But she's just caused this drama. all of this drama. We get to the next match, and it's a tag match. Alex Kane, Matt Riddle against the World Titan Federation, Bishop and Lawler. The boys are coming down for their entrance, and what do you know? Like, I see in the background, she's fucking back out there again. And it's just like she just gets to do whatever the fuck she wants because she's Zeta and she's a spoiled brat, and it is a fantastic character. I love it. Okay. Rant on Zeta done. I won't mention her for the rest of the review. I'm just trying to say I'm a fan, okay? I'm digging it. Okay. Geez, it's starting to get hot in this office. This is what it's like when you live in Australia. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's 8 o'clock and it's steamy hot in here. Like, you know when you have your elbows bent and it's hot and then this is fucked up. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to Delmi Exo versus Tiara James. So Tiara had not been pinned since being in MLW, and her opponent, Delmi Exo, recently had a shot at the Featherweight Championship, but Janai Kai was too good for her. So I thought this might be a contenders match, considering one was undefeated. I thought Tiara was going to win because it would give Janai Kai a fresh person to challenge her before the inevitable Zeta title shot. I ended up talking about her again. Some Azteca henchmen came out as well, which is a mystery to everybody. Tiara James. Geez, that's a bit similar to, isn't there like a Kiana? There's Kiana James from NXT, right? Tiara James. You know what? I don't know if it was her or if it was Delmi, but the arm drags ladies weren't working for me, and they were the ones being delivered by Delmi on Tiara. I don't know if Tiara wasn't jumping through for the bump properly. I don't know if Delmi was hooking deep enough on the arm drag. Got to work on the arm drag. Just letting you know. And it's okay that I say that because I used to wrestle, okay? Tiara got some offense in before Delmi attempted a Delmi driver, but then she managed to get the win with a roll-up pin. I was like, I don't think Delmi should have won that. I think the undefeated lady here, Tiara James, should have got the win, but look, that's fine. They've already got plans in place of what the fuck they're doing. So anyway, all of this happened. I'm talking about, the Zeta thing. And then after all this happened, the Azteca henchman then went up to Delmi and gave her a key and a cell phone after she was given a letter a few weeks back from the same henchman. So you know what? I like angles like that. I like angles that are shrouded in this weird mystery. And no one, you don't need you need to make things palatable so that people can understand it, right? You don't want to be too confusing, like with what happened with Steph DeLander and the Good Brother early, right? But it's also good to have an angle that's taking place that you just don't know where this is going. It's confusing, but it's interesting because it's so mysterious. That I like an angle like that. So who knows where we're going to go from here with that. Anyway. By the way, I had an 11-hour shift at work today, so I apologize if I'm just a bit not myself. I'm trying to get myself back to, square one with a cold beer, but anyway, Alex Kane, Riddle, Bishop, Lawler, Saint Laurent, fucking Zeta again. She's so cute, man. Matt Riddle obviously returned at Kings of Colosseum, where he defeated Jacob Fatu, and he teams here with Alex Kane, right? Blah, blah, blah. No one cares, Carl. They're aware. I just said who's in the match. Okay, so I'm expecting some interference here. I'm expecting some shenanigans. Hoping to see Richard Holiday get involved. Or I wanted Riddle to turn heel. So anyway, some really cool grappling started this between Riddle and Lawler, utilizing their MMA past. That was cool. Because sometimes, every match always starts off with a collar elbow tie-up and the chain wrestling and the feeling out process, and you get a bit like, like if you're watching on a computer, you just keep pressing the arrow to get past the chaining experience. But with these guys here, it was actually really fun to watch them grapple because remember the time Benoit and Angle had a little grapple? So yeah, great stuff there. Alex Kane came in, and there was a long heat on Alex Kane. Sorry, I had to pause it then because I really needed to sneeze. Fuck me. Anyway, long heat on Kane. I thought that was meaning that there was going to be a Matt Riddle heel turn, but nope. Riddle did get a hot tag and he cleaned house. Richard Holiday came out and copped it sweet from Alex Kane. And then Bishop got pinned by Matt Riddle after a big time floating bro off the top rope. And I was like, the World Titan Federation lose again? When are they going to get some heat? Like, I've seen Alex Kane win all these matches since starting watching MLW. I know Matt Riddle's just got there, but we got to get some heat at some point on this group. I was a little disappointed. I felt like an angle was going to come out of that as well. But look, that's maybe I'm just nitpicking again, but I really expected that, because the last few shows, the last few premium live events, pay-per-views, World Titan Federation eating shit for breakfast. You know, they're copping it sweet. Zeta's been winning. It's the only one who's been winning is her. But like everyone else, like everyone's challenged Alex Kane, lost. And I'm just like, man, like, come on, let's get them some heat. You know what? Lawler and Bishop better win the tag titles. Zeta better win the featherweight title, and you know, maybe Riddle does turn heel, ends up joining World Titan Federation, and he beats Alex Kane for the title. Whatever. Okay. After this, the World Titan Federation tag team, the boys, they were brawling with the Second Gear crew, which I'm assuming will lead to another tag title match, right? And I'm like, okay, I know, right? This is more nitpicking, but this is the thing that is, it's something that is, as somebody who is booked and filmed wrestling themselves, I have little things that are nitpicky things that I can't help but have to point out, right? They're brawling backstage with the Second Gear crew. I know this was recorded the night that they did their last premium live event, right? Second Gear crew have no shirts on, and they look sweaty. So obviously they shot that after the tag match last PLE. And I'm like, look, when you do something like that and you're pretending that it's actually on January 20th when it was supposed to be when it was actually filmed on January 6th, put them in some street clothes, but just quickly chuck a shirt on. Quickly chuck a shirt on. We got to make it seem like, because why would they be without their shirts on backstage when they weren't even booked on the show? People would be in their civs, their civilian clothing. I know it's a nitpick, but it annoys me, right? Like, okay, like here's a great example. When you have a backstage, like a backstage interview, right? And you're doing weeks and weeks and weeks worth of TV tapings. If someone's coming out for an interview, but in week 3 of the tapings, this is week 1, this is airing this week, but in 2 weeks' time, they're going to be having a match with so-and-so or whatever. If they're out there doing that promo in their ring gear, I'm like, you can't do that, because why would they get into their ring gear if they're not booked to wrestle on this show? They're wrestling in 2 weeks' time against this person. They have to be in civilian clothing, because like, why would they get into their knee pads and shit? Like, yes, I know that they're actually wrestling on that day because it's being taped for in 2 weeks' time, but we have to create the illusion that this is something that is people's jobs and that they go to this thing every single week. And, you know, it's not they just go there and they film like 8 weeks worth of TV and then they don't come back for 8 weeks. No. If you're going to do it that way, if you're going to do tapings, you have to make sure there's civilian clothing. If you're filming stuff in one day for this day and also a future day, you need to remember that you need to have people have different items of clothing on. You know, if you have a backstage interviewer who's wearing the same outfit for 4 weeks straight, you get them to change their tie if it's a guy. If it's a lady, get them to change the color jacket. If it's for a different week, that's the nitpicking. That's pet peeves I'm talking about there. Sorry, I know I'm stammering a little bit. I've had a long fucking day, okay? I've had like 4 hours sleep as well. I don't know. It's really frustrating when you're trying to get out what you're trying to get out, and usually I'm way more articulate than I am tonight. Anyway, let's get on with it. Satoshi Kojima, Sami Callihan. So we know Kojima is the first ever MLW World Champion from the early days. And he's back in the company for the first time in years. And then he was named #1 contender. Sami Callihan was not happy about that at Kings of Colosseum. It led to a confrontation. It led to a fight. And here we are. I really enjoyed this match. This may have been match of the show for me. Sami attacked Kojima as he was making his way to the ring. Then Sami gave paper cuts to Satoshi, which made me feel a little bit sick. Ugh, it's gross, man. Like the webbing. Oh, God, bro. It's like that, and like thinking of like anything to do with like someone's teeth getting hurt. That makes me like, ugh. Ugh. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, Kojima hit a lariat, and he was steamed at that point as they brawled around the ring. Kojima's screaming and selling was terrific when Sami's like trying to bend his finger and his thumb in the wrong direction. Sami's a great hire for MLW. I feel like by the time he got to the end of his run there at Impact, he was kind of getting a little bit lost in the shuffle there. He'd already worked with everyone. He'd done pretty much everything there is to do. So it was time to move on and go somewhere fresh. And that's what's great about wrestling right now, is that there's lots of different places where you can get a fresh coat of paint on you know, and rejuvenate yourself a little bit if you're feeling a little stale somewhere else. So I hope Kojima's here for a while in MLW. I've always been a fan. I thought he did a great job here. Sami Callihan and the spitting. Fucking hell. He spat in Kojima's face. Kojima spat back and hit a big DDT. Kojima hit a cutter soon after. Sami kicked out at 1. I am getting sick of it. And I'm going to rant on this again. When Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay had that fucking match, and Ospreay hit the what's it called? The one-winged angel on Omega, right? And Omega kicked out at 1. And the place went fucking insane. And I'm like, oh, no. You two have just started something. I knew it as soon as I saw it. I'm like, that's it. That's a new thing that I'm going to be getting annoyed at. The kick out at 1 deep into a match after copying a heap of shit because you're expecting the whole crowd to get that same pop that Ospreay and Omega had. I have seen it several times since. I'm pretty sure Moxley did it to Kingston. I've seen that several times since, even in my local wrestling company that I went to go see their last show. I saw someone do it there, and I'm like, no, don't do this. And now Hook's just fucking gone and done it, and everyone's going crazy that he kicked out at 1 after a muscle buster, after like Joe got 2 counts on several other moves prior to that. It's going to get overdone. It's not going to mean anything because everyone saw it that one time and was like, oh, we should do that in our match so we can get that pop. Don't fucking do it. Sami's wasn't as bad. I'm just saying I'm getting sick of it. I'm noticing people are trying to do it more and more. Just let it just be a thing that happened. All right? Like I'd say do that spot once every 5 years. One person in the whole industry. In 5 years, one person can do it. Then it will still be special. Don't turn it into like a super kick or a fucking DDT. Anyway, Kojima hit a lariat, and then he hits another lariat, and it's over. Kojima has the momentum needed as he heads toward MLW Super Fight to face Alex Kane for the MLW World's Heavyweight Championship. So Kojima by pinfall after the match. Satoshi got on the mic, charmed the fans one more time, and off he went. He's all class, that guy. Alex Kane is then shown at a fake press conference, and dude, I'm telling you right now, here comes another nitpick. I'm sorry. Alex Kane, because Joe Dombrowski said he was meeting the press, right? He's shown at the fake press conference, but then he just cuts a promo at the camera. And I'm like, sometimes just like, man, I wish I was backstage so I could just be like, hey guys, what about this? Because he's just talking to the camera. Like Joe's just told us he's talking to the press. He wouldn't stare into the camera then, would he? He'd be looking out the press. We'd be able to hear the press. We should be able to hear people in that room. We should hear cameras taking pictures of the MLW World Champion as he's letting everyone know what his plans are and what his thoughts are. Like that's how you make something like that a bit more interesting. Don't get me wrong, the promo was fantastic, but it would have been way better if you make a bigger deal out of it. Get just some of the wrestlers in there to pretend to be press, you know? I know, like, at least ones that don't have a distinct voice. Anyway, like, imagine you had that, there's like, you know, I'm John for the Wrestling Observer. Like, you can't have Savage in there doing it. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm funny. Great stuff. Great show. Okay. Great show. I'm sorry I'm tired, right? I just want a little bit more heat on the World Titan Federation. I'm very happy with the amount of screen time that... Did I say screen time? I'm happy with the amount of screen time that Zayda is getting because she makes me laugh every time she's out there. I'm digging MLW right now, and I look forward to Super Fight on February the 3rd. And if anyone out there can let me know, when's the next episode of Fusion airing? I don't understand what's going on. Thank you all for joining me here for the review. This is probably going to be on the WZWA Slam Society because our YouTube channel is still locked. So fucking annoying. Karlifornia, WZWA Network, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And guess what? We will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.